What I Learned in Middle School by Dakota Blanton. First period ELA with Miss Stoneham. In her class we did a unit called the Holocaust Unit. While doing this we read a short story about Anne Frank and a book called Night. While reading these stories, I realized how hard it was for the Jewish race to survive and how Hitler tortured them and killed them off in their camps called concentration camps. We also did other projects, such as the Christmas Around the World project, where we had to pick out a country that we wanted to research and explain how they celebrated their Christmases. Second period science with Mr. Oney. I learned a lot in this class, especially at the first chapter, called Rocks and Minerals. In this chapter, I learned how to label the different types of rocks and minerals by their shape, size, color, and luster. Second chapter was called Plate Tectonics, and I learned how to name the different plates and also name the faults. The largest fault in the U.S. is called the San Andreas Fault, which is located in California. The third chapter we did was the Space Unit, which here I learned the different types of planets and why they revolve around the Sun, and also how to name them in order starting from the Sun. Fourth chapter we did in this class this year was Evolution. In this, I learned the major debate between creation and evolution. Third period 21st century with Mr. Bedingfield. In his class we learned a lot, starting with the Skyping project, where we had to properly email a professional so we could get them to accept their interview request. While doing this, we learned how to properly talk to a professional and how to email them. We also did a ScreenFlow project where we learned how to use annotations and text boxes and transitions. We also do a blog. On the blog we have all of our projects that we've ever done in his class. And we also do our vocab. We get 5 vocab every week. We have to write a sentence and add a picture and have the definition of vocabulary.
Any questions? Yeah, Toby.
How would you use vanquish in a sentence?
She had to wrench herself forcibly away from Catherine, and every step vanquished her desire.
My name is Blake.
My name is Dakota.
And in Mr. Bedingfield's class, we had to interview Stuart Smith, a former Navy SEAL.
He has a training camp in Maryland, and what I learned through this whole project is how to email a professional properly.
And what I learned is that if you go into the Navy SEALs, you have to have more than just muscle. You have to have endurance, the mental attitude. And I think this project really helped us learn that we have to do a lot more than what we thought in school just to get to the Navy SEALs.
A lot of dedication. Requires a lot of dedication to get in the Navy SEALs. Fourth period phys ed with Miss Gurdon. In her class, I learned many games such as kickball, capture flag, 5-base kickball, and ultimate frisbee. While doing these mini games, I got the basics of these sports and how to play them correctly, especially with the notes that we have. We also did sports such as softball, basketball, and soccer. While doing these sports, I learned how to actually play them with the main rules. And we also had notes, and we had to take tests over these sports too. Fifth period math with Miss Turner. In her class, I learned how to research data and how to plot it on a generated scatter plot on the computer, and also how to make my own while doing our Olympic scatter plot project. In her class, Miss Turner also taught us how to find x in an equation and the different types of steps you'll need, like addition, subtraction, and division. Sixth period choir with Jax. In her class, we learned how to identify the different types of clefs, such as the treble clef, the bass clef, alto clef, and the tenor clef. We also had to be able to list the piano keys on our exam, which was on the back of it. Seventh period social studies with Mr. Sturzinger. In this class, we had to be able to recite the preamble and say it in front of the whole class for a grade. Also in this class, we were taught what the Americans had to go through to get their independence, starting with writing their own Declaration of Independence, and adding the Bill of Rights into the Constitution, and also the signing the Constitution. But the main part was when they had to have the American Revolution, where they had to fight the British to even get their independence.